Shaolin Kung Fu has long been known as the king of the fighting arts, not because of trophies, championships, or televised victories, but because its reputation was carved into history through survival, discipline, and brutal reality. Long before modern gyms, weight machines, or scientific training protocols ever existed, Shaolin monks were forging human bodies into living weapons on the battlefields of ancient China. Their skills were not designed for sport. They were designed for life and death. Imagine a man standing completely still while a spear presses directly against his throat. There is no flinching, no shaking, no visible fear. The metal pushes deeper, yet the skin does not break. Now imagine another man lying flat on the ground as a massive sledgehammer smashes concrete blocks placed on his chest. The impact sends shockwaves through the air, but his body remains unmoved. These scenes are not movie tricks. They are not slow-motion illusions or carefully staged performances. They are real Shaolin training methods, documented, recorded, and repeated daily by monks who have spent their entire lives conditioning their bodies and minds. This is what confuses the modern world. Today's fighters have access to the best technology in history. They have sports science, nutrition, supplements, gyms, recovery systems, and highly specialized combat sports. And yet, when they come face to face with Shaolin-trained monks, many of them struggle in ways they cannot explain. Speed fails. Strength feels useless. Aggression collapses. Something about Shaolin training seems to break the rules everyone else lives by. The question is not whether Shaolin monks are strong. The question is why they remain calm and controlled under conditions that cause most fighters to fall apart. What makes Shaolin masters so difficult to deal with is not one single technique, one secret strike, or one hidden form. It is a system that builds a human being differently from the ground up. It changes how the body responds to pain. It changes how the mind reacts to pressure. It changes how fear, fatigue, and chaos are processed inside the nervous system. At first glance, Shaolin monks seem to defy human biology. They let heavy objects crash into their bodies. They allow pressure on their throat. They balance on fingertips. They absorb impact without panic. But what makes these feats truly unsettling is not the force involved. It is the absence of reaction. There is no visible tension, no buildup of adrenaline, no explosive emotion. Just quiet, steady control. That steadiness is exactly where modern fighters begin to lose. Modern training systems are built around limits. There are rounds, rules, time clocks, weight classes, and safety restrictions. Fighters train knowing that rest is coming, that breaks are guaranteed, that referees will intervene, that the environment is controlled. Shaolin training removes those assumptions. It teaches the body and mind to function under pressure without expecting relief. This is why dismissing Shaolin feats as tricks or mysticism does not work. These practices are not random. They are structured, written down, refined, and passed forward through centuries. The famous 72 arts of Shaolin are not myths. They are manuals. They are blueprints for conditioning the human body and nervous system beyond what most people ever attempt. And here's the most important point. Shaolin monks are not unbeatable because they are stronger than everyone else. In fact, many modern athletes are faster, heavier, and more powerful in raw numbers. The difference lies in how their lives are built. Shaolin training is designed to find weaknesses and remove them. Physical weakness, mental hesitation, emotional instability. Over time, very little remains that can be exploited. Pain is not treated as an emergency. It is introduced early. Balance is not trained occasionally. It becomes constant. Fatigue is not avoided. It is lived inside until the body learns how to stay functional while exhausted. So when a modern fighter meets a Shaolin monk, they are not facing superior muscles. They are facing a nervous system that does not panic under stress. And that kind of resilience does not begin in combat. It begins years before most people ever throw a punch. The foundation, built before choice. Long before a Shaolin monk ever learns how to throw a punch, block a strike, or perform a spectacular movement, something far more important has already been built inside their body and mind. That foundation is structure, repetition, and time. Shaolin training does not begin with fighting. It begins with becoming unbreakable. Many Shaolin monks enter the system when they are still children, sometimes as young as 4 or 5 years old. At that age, they are not thinking about combat, dominance, or becoming warriors. They are stepping into a way of life, a rhythm, a system that will shape their nervous system, their posture, their breath, and their tolerance for discomfort before they even understand what pain really means. Their days begin before sunrise. There is no alarm clock, no rushing, no chaos. The body wakes up into movement. Long-distance running comes first, not to build speed, but to build endurance. The goal is not to be fast. It is to keep moving without breaking down. After running comes stance training. Deep, low stances held for long periods of time. The legs burn, the hips shake, the lower back tightens. But the monks do not move. They stay. This is not random suffering. It is neurological conditioning. The nervous system is being taught something very specific. Discomfort does not mean danger. When most people feel intense physical strain, their brain sends panic signals. Heart rate spikes. Breathing becomes shallow. Muscles tighten inefficiently. Shaolin training interrupts that reflex early. Roughly 70% of early Shaolin training focuses on the lower body, the legs, the hips, the feet, because without a stable base, nothing above it matters. A powerful strike means nothing if the body cannot support it. Balance is not a skill you add later. It is something you build first. To an outsider, this phase looks boring, repetitive, even pointless. There are no flashy techniques, no flying kicks, no dramatic movements. Just standing, holding, breathing, moving slowly. But this is exactly why it works. Shaolin training treats martial skill as something that rests on physical integrity, not something that replaces it. Over time, something subtle happens. The movements stop feeling like exercise. They begin to feel like meditation. The monks are not just training muscles. They are training attention. Every shift of weight, every breath, every tiny adjustment becomes something they can feel and control. Pain does not disappear. It is not ignored. It is simply no longer dramatic. It becomes information instead of a threat. This is one of the biggest differences between Shaolin training and modern athletic culture. Most modern systems are designed to avoid discomfort whenever possible. They optimize for efficiency, speed, and visible results. Shaolin training optimizes for durability. By exposing the body to control stress early and often, the nervous system adapts. Bones grow denser. Tendons thicken. Balance improves. The body learns how to stay coordinated while tired. By the time monks start learning real techniques, their bodies already know how to support them. This is why Shaolin monks move the way they do. Their stability does not come from thinking about balance. It comes from years of structural adaptation. Their bodies do not panic when they are off-center because they have lived there before. But endurance and discipline alone do not explain why Shaolin monks can take direct physical punishment. Running in stances builds stamina, not impact resistance. Something else is happening deeper inside the tissues of the body, and that is where Shaolin conditioning truly begins. Shaolin conditioning is often described as extreme, but that word does not fully capture what is really happening. These methods are not about recklessness or brutality. They are about controlled biological adaptation. The monks are not trying to destroy their bodies. They are teaching their bodies how to survive forces that would normally cause injury. The famous Shaolin conditioning systems, recorded in what is known as the 72 Arts of Shaolin, are designed around one principle: apply stress slowly enough for the body to adapt instead of break. This is the same principle that builds muscle in the gym, but taken much further and applied to bones, tendons, skin, nerves, and even internal structures. One of the most well-known examples is iron palm training. It does not begin with smashing bricks or breaking boards like in movies. It begins with sand. A monk repeatedly strikes and presses their hands into a box filled with fine sand. Thousands of repetitions. Over months and years, the sand is replaced with gravel, then small stones, then iron shot. Each stage creates tiny microfractures in the bones. The body responds by reinforcing those bones, making them denser and stronger. This is not magic. It is biology. Just like weightlifting makes muscles grow, controlled impact makes bones adapt. Over time, the hands become structurally different, not bigger, not swollen, but internally reinforced. Finger training follows the same logic. At first, monks press their fingers into soft surfaces, then harder ones. Eventually, they may support their entire body weight on a single finger. The famous one-finger handstands are not party tricks. They are proof of decades of connective tissue and bone adaptation. The fingers are no longer weak points. They become pillars. Ironhead Gong applies the same principle to the skull and neck. Early training uses padding and light contact. Over time, protection is reduced. The neck muscles strengthen. The skull adapts. The nervous system learns that impact to the head does not require panic. This is why monks can take strikes that would normally cause people to freeze or recoil. The torso is conditioned through systems like Iron Shirt and Iron Bull Gong. Monks train their breathing, posture, and muscle coordination to disperse force across the body instead of allowing it to concentrate in one fragile spot. When a heavy object hits their abdomen, the force spreads. Organs are protected. The impact does not collapse their structure. This is not about being rigid. It is about being organized under stress. These methods take decades. Attempted too quickly, they cause injury. That is why they look impossible to outsiders. Modern people live in a world of shortcuts. Shaolin conditioning has none. The result is a body that does not react the way most bodies do. When something hits them, there is no shockwave of panic through the nervous system. There is just information. But even this does not fully explain Shaolin mastery. A hardened body alone is not enough. Muscles still fatigue. Bones still have limits. Pain still exists. What makes Shaolin monks truly dangerous is what happens in the mind. The mind that doesn't panic. By the time Shaolin monks reach advanced levels of physical conditioning, their bodies are already capable of withstanding forces that would overwhelm most people. But what truly shocks trained fighters is not how hard these monks are to hurt. It is how little they react when things go wrong. There is no visible fear, no emotional spike, no frantic scrambling when pressure increases. Their calm looks unnatural, but it is the product of years of deliberate neurological training. At the heart of Shaolin practice sits Chan Buddhism, not as a philosophy layered on top of fighting, but as the operating system that controls how stress is processed. Meditation is not something monks do after training. It is embedded inside it. Every stance, every strike, every breath becomes an exercise in attention. When muscles burn, the monk does not escape from the sensation. He observes it. When balance becomes unstable, he does not panic. He adjusts. This trains the brain to remain present even when the body is under threat. Most people lose control not because they lack strength, but because their nervous system floods them with fear and urgency. Shaolin monks train to interrupt that reflex. They practice stillness under load, holding painful positions without moving, standing while being pushed, balancing while being distracted. These drills are not about toughness. They are about teaching the brain that discomfort does not equal danger. Pain becomes data instead of an alarm. This is where the concept of qi is often misunderstood. In Shaolin training, qi is not mystical energy. It is coordination. It is how breath, posture, and intention align to produce efficient force. When a monk strikes, there is no wasted tension, no emotional surge, just clean mechanical output. Modern fighters rely heavily on adrenaline. Adrenaline increases strength and reaction time, but also narrows perception and drains energy quickly. Shaolin training does the opposite. It builds wide awareness, steady breathing, and slow burning power. This is why Shaolin monks seem to move effortlessly while their opponents tire. They are not fighting the moment. They are flowing through it. This mental discipline is what allows Shaolin monks to maintain control even when chaos hits. And chaos always hits in real combat. Shaolin masters aren't unbeatable because of magic or myths. They're unbeatable because they train for a lifetime, not a season. While the world looks for shortcuts, Shaolin built a system with no weak spots, body, mind, and discipline working as one. So the real question isn't, could you beat a Shaolin monk? It's how much of your own potential are you actually training? If you enjoyed this deep dive, like, subscribe, and comment below what topic you want next. See you in the next video.